side, you can see the rock here.
Yes. It's also interesting that people can place in positions.
Yes, how they prefer.
Be floating or.
I'm Eleonora Dalfarra, and I'm co-founder of alcarol.
And I'm Andrea Forti, and I'm also co-founder of alcarol.
And alcarol is based between Venice, the very famous city for its lagoon, and the Dolomite Rocky Mountain, that are UNESCO World Heritage. So between these two places, there are just like 100 kilometers, and a valley very green and forest. So two unique places where to live and burn. So Andrea studied architecture, and I studied fine arts with a degree in conservation. And after our study that concerned painting and for Andrea sculpture also.
It's our 10th anniversary, and this was after about 3 years of experimentations, patents. We registered some patents about new materials, new composite materials, designs. Maybe I can also explain the meaning of the brand name. It is quite interesting and help to understand our way to work. Alcarol, it's a dialectal term, Italian, in the north of Italy. That means the woodworm, the insect that eat and carve the wood, very stubborn and tireless. So there is also, it is said in Italy that when a person is very focused in one single aspect of life, has a mental woodworm, mental alcarol in his mind, and we like this thing, this concept, because we always work tireless till we are very close to perfection. So this is a nice example for us. But the first one was, I say, something like a walking science museum, walking around the world. So with many pieces from our land that are all over the world. So it can be a public building, a private home. Is the same. The most important thing is the interaction between the human and the nature, and the human perception of nature also. This is the basis of our work, I think.
Yes, and we start our research with the material at first, because we study a lot different kind of material, and the first one we chose was the bricola one, of course, and the second material we chose was the resin, because it's like a lens to focus on the natural material that has its own story.
Yes. The main goal, our aim was to offer an unexpected view and understanding of our environment. Already know Venice for its palaces or streets, canals, but no one knows the underwater Venice that is full of story, and the materials that are underwater are very specific. So we started with this wood that is carved by the mollusks, and we experiment for about 3 years to develop this transparent polymer that was the most similar possible to water. So same optical effect, mirroring effect. So it was able to recreate the underwater effect, but also increase the outside of the material. And then for us, the most interesting thing is the inner part of the material. And we start with a very precise concept that was the environmental cross section of an environment. So, for example, in Venice, we have the wood poles, and there is a precise cut. So you see the section planes and the inner part of the material that is very full of story. So it's an oak wood, but it's very, very characterized by the. And this is the Genius Loci, that is a Latin term, very important for us. It means the spirit of a place that can characterize the material, the raw material, that can be very different for each place.
Yes.
I think. So, sometimes I try to land in our deep and essential basis, and I think we are something like a three-dimensional photographer, because essentially also photography, I think, is the art of selection. So you are in a street or in a forest, you decide what you want to represent.
Focus on.
You have a frame, and you are bidimensional. We are three-dimensional, and also with the materiality, with the optical effects. So we decide how to cut, how to position the material, the selection of the material to represent a place and its story. It's only about the feeling between the human perception and the material with his story, I think. Yes. And also the raw materials, it's very important for us that we use what industry does not use, because when we select a material, it has organic shape, very irregular, and usually industry does not know how to use them. And for us, it's a shame. And we have, in the 10 years, we have tried to work with many of this type of materials.
Yes.
From our land.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because this kind of material tells their own story very well.
Yes. It is another main goal for us, to increase the human attention to the details of the organic nature. And after 10 years of experience with design galleries, showrooms, fairs, exhibitions, we see the interest, the real interest of each type of people that stop his work and watch the details of the product, and they are watching nature, something organic nature that maybe they can see every day when they go to walk to the work, or in the street they see a tree, they can see the bark with the moss, and we present bark and moss, and this is very important for us, because we hope that each people also, after our product, will have more attention to nature and the details in general, because we always think that a famous architect said God is in the details. This we think it's very
Of
very
course.
true.
And we are sure about our work when we meet a child, and yes, normally every child stop and touch our pieces, and we can see how they can appreciate it. It's the first form of understanding it.
Durability is one also of the main concept for us because of sustainability. We know that our transparent polymer is now 30% bio-based, but for us, yes, we can increase the percentage, but the main goal is the durability. We have worked 13 years to be able to offer a potentially eternal product because it represents the story of a place in our case, and
Yes, I
this
think
is the way.
it's like a frame of time of the present, but with material from the past.
Yeah, because we froze time when we do our work. We froze time. Then there is more sign of the time, but the main time is frozen for us.
I think that the new antiques, new classics are different worlds that put together are very strong because are different time. New is something you do in the present, but for the future. Antique is about the past, and classic is more like past, present, and future. So match all these terms together, it's not so easy. And I think it's quite similar for the art field because you can choose if an artwork produced now, it could be a famous painting, for example. So every designer and artist must do his own best with this meaning, and it's not so easy.
Yes, and I think when a product become classic, I think when there is a new one, mainly when the new one is better, can be better because there is a new technique. So it's about technology. When it reaches a better quality of any type. And I said we have no style, no trendy style, trendy shapes. It's visible in our product. There is nature and nothing more than the selection we do. And we work 10 plus 3 years or 13 years to reach close to perfection about the transparent polymer and the treatment of the material. So I think in 30 or 100 years someone can produce something similar, but I think
Yes, it's like
they will be not too different because there is no improvement to do. Not because we are the best, but because of the concept that is very essential. Then it is about sensibility, sensitivity, about how to select the material. But in this sense, I think we are classic. I think, but it will be the time that decide this.
nobody can know if he become a classics.
Yes, because I think I will say that we are three-dimensional photographer in our photography is an art. We produce design pieces, so is the old thing, design can be art and functionality. For us, is better if there is functionality, because we are always searching for an interaction with a human perception. So we like that our product inside home will be an interaction, because also with the environment, with the natural light, you will see a light effect inside the material. In the morning, afternoon, the evening, you see how it changes like a tree in a forest. And it's natural, and nature is classic, I think.
Yes.
It is classic because it is very slow, as I said, slow changing, and has no style, because nature, I think, it's about survive and adapt, but very slow. So classic is very slow and very far from style or shapes. Shapes in nature are functional, and this is classic for me.
And nature is also antique, of course, because yes, we choose material that has its own story.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
a mix of the two.
Yes, the wood from Venice, or the stone eroded by the water over the millennia is antique. Is antique because you see
The interaction.
the traces of the environment, of the elements. This is antique, I think. But we will see
in the future.
for the next generation what they think, and how they will deal with the perception of the materials and the stories. We will see in the future.